According to the clock tower, it's 7 p.m. or 6:30 p.m. And we will get started. And first thing, would you please register your presence by voting yes? Mr. Cole.
Okay, you have 20 present, one absent. You have a quorum.
Do you have a quorum? John, would you roll the emergency announcement, please?
Before we get started, let me read the emergency evacuation procedures. In the event of an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Everyone should exit the building by way of the nearest stairwell in a safe and effective manner. If the nearest stairwell is blocked by smoke, use the other stairwell. Do not use the elevator. Once you have reached the main floor, follow the exit signs to exit the building and quickly proceed away from the building. Please be mindful of others evacuating and of emergency vehicles.
Okay, thank you. First item on the agenda is public input on items on tonight's agenda. Do I see any hands? Seeing no hands, we will move on. Next item on the agenda is the approval of the agenda committee minutes from October the 7th. The chair will entertain a motion to approve. Commissioner Carver, is there a second? Commissioner Lewis, are there additions or changes to the minutes? If you're in favor of approval of the minutes, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no. Please vote.
You have 20 yeses.
That item is approved. The next item is the setting of tonight's agenda. The chair will entertain a motion to set the agenda. Commissioner Lewis makes the motion. Is there a second? Commissioner Carver seconds. If you are in favor of setting the agenda, or does anyone have any additions or deletions to the agenda? Okay, if you're in favor of setting the agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no.
Did you have an item?
Yeah, I thought there was an item to be added, D6, about Louisville.
I was going to add that to consent calendar, but I'll go ahead and put it forward and ask for unanimous consent of the body to add D6.
Hey, let me get your mic on so they can hear you. That kind of, now.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to add an item to the consent calendar, be item D6, be a check proclamation by Mayor Bickers.
Okay, without objection, that will be added to the agenda as D6. Yes, clear the board and retake it. No vote had been announced. So if you are in favor of the agenda at this time, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Commissioner Monroe.
It's a check presentation by Mayor Bickers.
Bottom line, it's money left over from their festival, and they're giving it to kids groups. All right. Mr. Stennett, do you wish to vote? Okay.
You have 20 yeses.
And the agenda is approved. Next item on the agenda are items for the consent calendar. If you are in favor of moving the consent calendar to the agenda, Chair will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we send the consent calendar forward to the full commission.
Have a motion by Commissioner Mood, second by Commissioner French. Okay. Now, if you are in favor of moving the consent calendar to the November 20th meeting, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Okay, Ms. Miller, do you wish to vote? There we go. Mr. Stinnett? John, he may need a battery in his remote. I got it.
You have 19 yeses and 1 no.
The consent calendar is moved to the full agenda. The next item is unfinished business. There is none. Under new business, we have budget transfers. Let me catch up on my notes here. F1 is the transfer for the Highway Department in the amount of $130,000. Chair will entertain a motion to move it to the November 20th agenda. Commissioner French, second. Commissioner Farmer. Now, is there discussion? Seeing no lights, are you ready to vote? Motion is to move this item to the agenda of the November 20th meeting. Vote yes if you are in favor of that. Vote no if you are opposed. Is it not working again, Mr. Stinnett?
He just not holding his mouth right.
There you go. Mr. Hedrick, do you wish to vote? Okay. There it goes.
You have 20 yeses.
That item is moved to the agenda. The next item is a budget increase. That also is in the Highway Department. The chair will entertain a motion to move it to the full agenda.
Second.
Commissioner Moon moves and Commissioner Carver seconds. Is there discussion? Let's see who got there first. Commissioner Monroe, you're up first. Hold on. There you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Is this state money, and how much of this is county and how much of this is state?
Are you requesting Mr. Dunn?
Sure, since he's here, that'd be great. Thank you.
This is state money to be this is county money to be reimbursed by the state.
Oh, so this is a reimbursement?
Yes.
So why is it called an increase if it's a
I'm
reimbursement?
asking for an increase. I got to pay for the projects before they pay me back for them.
Okay, wouldn't that have already been in the budget?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I was not aware of this till after the budget. The commission or the state has offered us a 2% match on all bridge projects this year. Was not aware of when that was going to come about, so we'd already got into the budget process. When it became final, the budget was already set.
What do you mean by a 2% match?
We normally pay 20% match on state aid bridge projects.
So it's been shrink 90%?
Now, they're going to pay 98%.
Or 98, yeah,
Yes,
I'm sorry, okay.
yes. We're getting almost $900,000 worth of work for right about $18,000 county's money.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Chairman, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Dunlap, can you tell us which districts these bridges are located?
We got one on East Millers Cove Road. That's Mr. Bowers, Mr. Caskey's district. The state closed that one just on account of the structure was so deficient. We've got one on Big Elm Road. That's in 7th, I believe. Commissioner Tom Green asked me a couple of years ago to look at this one. And just fortunate enough, the good Lord looks after fools, little children. The state's giving us this type of match, so going to fulfill that commitment. And we've got one on Andy Harris. I believe, Steve, is that not in your district off of Wildwood? I believe it is. I believe it is. Yeah. These three bridges, I was choosing them, but the state told me we've got two lists. The first list is bridges that have some major deficiencies on them. They go first over any of the rest of them. So this will be 3 of the remaining 5 that we've got one-lane bridges in the county. So with this match, you can't afford not to do it. I've got 2 more I'll be bringing up next year. So that will wipe out our one-lane bridges.
Thank you, Mr. Dunlap.
Thank you.
Anybody else? The board is clear. If you're in favor of moving this to the full agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Ms. Miller, there you go.
You have 20 yeses.
That item is approved, moves to the full agenda. The next item is under other budget items. Do you want to take it from here, Mr. Vineyard? And my notes show that we only have two that need to be voted on. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me get your mic on here.
The first item is the Courthouse contract. Previously, we brought a request to commission to authorize a project budget for this, and simultaneous with that, asking for permission to negotiate a contract with Courthouse, who was deemed to be the most responsive proposal that we solicited through our RFP process. And that was approved in July. We have now negotiated the contract, and that is what is in front of you tonight for consideration. So the first item is the Courthouse contract, which is the integrated HR and payroll and timekeeping system.
Chair will entertain a motion to move item Resolution 1411-00688 to the full agenda. Is there a motion? Commissioner Carver, is there a second? Commissioner Melton? Now, is there discussion or questions? Okay, without the board is clear. If you are in favor of moving this to the full agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Mr. Caskey.
You have 18 yeses, 1 no, and 1 abstain.
That item is moved to the full agenda. The next item that requires moving to the agenda is Resolution 1411-007. Or that, hang on just a minute. Yes, that one requires it, doesn't? Oh, okay. Go ahead, Mr. Vineyard.
Item F3B is debt service fund balance policy, and that is incorrectly identified as information only. That would require commission approval since it's a policy. The item C, actuarial report for general liability and workers' comp funds, is the information only item.
Does the sequestration notice, that I have it as information?
That is information only as well.
Okay, so
that one's correctly noted.
The item we're voting on, or we're considering at this time, is the debt service fund.
That is
balance
correct.
Policy. That would be Resolution 1411-007. Is that correct?
I'm not looking at the resolution, but that should require commission action.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to move it to the agenda. Commissioner Lewis, is there a second? Where was it? Commissioner Carter. Now, is there a question? Commissioner Monroe, you're up first. Go ahead.
I certainly support having a debt fund policy. My question is, if I could direct it to Mr. Vineyard, if we pass this and then we go out to the market, we're not technically in compliance with it, and we're also technically not in compliance with our own debt policy. Would that hurt us at all when we go to market or hurt our credit rating?
Mr. Vineyard.
In my opinion, no. The issue here is we have to start at some point. You are correct. We do not comply with our current debt policy. This is in our discussions in closing the books for this past year, we were asking for fund balance policies that other governments across the state might use. This is one illustration. This happens to come from Roane County that the Comptroller's Office pointed us to. So this is our recommendation, at least for a starting point. But they're viewed as goals as much as anything else in policy, certainly until you reach those thresholds that the policy describes.
Any further?
Yes, so you don't think that in any way this will hurt us if getting ready to go to market for refinancing?
No, I think this would be viewed as a positive. What would hurt us if we adopt a policy and we don't already meet that policy and then we do something detrimental to the policy that would have an adverse impact, that would be viewed negatively.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Well, the board is clear. Are you ready for the question? This is a motion to move this item to the full agenda. If you're in favor, vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no.
You have 20 yeses.
That item moves to the full agenda. The next item, the next two items are for information only. The next item is the bond refunding resolution. Chair will entertain a motion to move this to the full agenda. Do I hear a motion? Commissioner Melton, is there a second? Second, Commissioner Carver. Now, are there questions? Commissioner Monroe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If I could, I would like to address Mr. Vineyard again.
Go ahead.
This resolution authorizes $27.5 million. Roughly, we're probably only going to need about 26, right?
We generally submit resolutions so that we've got plenty of cap to negotiate. It is contemplated there be two pieces of financing accomplished under this resolution. One would be the tax-exempt piece of the financing, which would take out the variable rate debt that we have right now, $20 million and change. And then the balance of that would be to take care of the termination fees, which would have to, for the swaps, which would have to be done on a taxable basis. So the sum of those two, it would be a not to exceed.
Okay. Along that line, since you said there's two pieces, if we don't utilize all 27.5, could another piece at some point in time go out on this same authorization?
Well, let me give you this. We asked you for direction. You gave us direction on what to pursue. We've done that. The funding proposal, the refunding plan, was presented that you saw. We went and met with the State Comptroller's Office of State and Local Finance. We gave them the same proposal that you have. We told them of our intention, which is to file a refunding plan formally with them. That was done Friday afternoon. I received a call yesterday confirming they've received that. So that starts the clock to respond back by statute. I think they have 15 days to do that. We would hope to have that letter to submit to you prior to your consideration on the 20th.
Okay. You've started the process, I understand that, and I am thrilled that we are doing this. This is one of the major reasons why I ran, and I am delighted that we are doing this. But I'm asking, there would be roughly $1.5 million. I'm just estimating, rounding. Could you, on your own authority, go out, or assuming actually it would be the mayor, later go out and borrow $1.5 million because we only actually issued $26 million without coming back to this commission? No. Okay. Thank you.
Board is clear. If you are in favor of moving this item to the full agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Oh, that's me. Sorry about that. That item is approved. Moves to the agenda. The next item on the agenda is item number 4, request to place the portrait in the County Commission room pursuant to resolution number 14-04004. And that is Commissioner Moon's resolution. Chair will entertain a motion to move it to the agenda.
Has to be moved forward, Mr. Chairman.
And Commissioner Farmer seconds. Any discussion? Commissioner Monroe. Hang on. There we go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Why does it say be it resolved, Blount County Board of Commissioners in session assembled April 17th, 2014?
Commissioner Moon, would you like to respond?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This resolution was just put in so the body would know the guidelines. This has already been adopted by the commission. The item on the agenda is a request to do the hanging. And I really wished we'd put the executed and signed copy in because it is confusing the way it is. But that's just been put in as a backup document so that you know what the guidelines were and they've all been met.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so do we have to approve each time somebody hangs something, or what are we approving? What are we being asked to vote on then?
Do you wish to respond?
Yes.
Well, here you go.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. One of the requirements is a majority vote of the commission in order to hang a portrait of a deceased commission member. And there can only be one per term, so unless a member dies in office. And so this term, the 14 to 18 term, Commissioner Wrights will be the only one that will be considered. But the reason, some of the logic behind doing a majority vote, I don't know how to put this. Jeffrey Dahmer served on the commission and later found out that he, and someone goes to court and says he's met all the guidelines, and this is kind of a safeguard to where the sitting commission could say no.
Okay, one more.
Okay, go ahead.
Why does it say under the resolve that only deceased current members? How could you be a current member if you're deceased?
In office.
In office during that term, which if Commissioner Wright's family had approached us before September, it meant one that was currently serving that died versus or deceased former member.
Is that all?
I just think it could be worded a little better, but okay, thank you.
Board is clear. If you're in favor of moving this to the agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Oh, mine's being hard. Yeah.
You have 20 yeses.
That item moves to the agenda. The next item is a resolution approving a lease agreement with Eagleton Ballpark and authorizing the execution thereof. If you will allow the chair, that is actually my sponsor and Mr. Kaler's sponsor. And the reason that we have redone the lease is they had a name change. They ceased to become part of the National Little League or whatever it is, and they just wanted to change the name. And we have reduced the time of the lease to 5 years with a 5-year extension. But we can be out of it in 60 days by notice of either party.
Motion forward to full.
Okay, Mr. Kaler, second. Mr. Farmer. Now, are there just questions? The lease is in your packet, by the way. Farmer seconded, Kaler made the motion. If you're in favor of moving this to the agenda, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. Sorry, Mr. Clerk, I jumped the gun on you there. Okay. Mr. Kaler, are you going to vote since you made the motion? Yeah. That's all right.
You have 20 yeses.
Okay, that item moves to the agenda. The next item is, let's see, where are we? Resolution approving the regulations governing the use of county right-of-way. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve item F7A and F7B.
You have,
F6.
we're on F6, Mr. French. Yeah. I appreciate your effort, but we better deal with 6 first. Do you wish to continue to make a motion for F6? Okay. Delete the motion.
Motion to forward F6 to the full commission.
Commissioner Farmer makes the motion. Is there a second? Second, Commissioner Moon. Is there discussion? Okay, hold on. Commissioner Daly.
Yeah, I'm reading this as quickly as I can. Would somebody just tell me what it says? How's it different from what was there before?
Do you wish to respond? Oh, come up, Mr. Dunlap.
That's our resolution, Commissioner Daly. What this is, I looked back through the history of Blount County and tried to find the old resolution where the county granted utilities the use of our right-of-ways. I could not find it. This past year, one of the major gas companies tried to get some legislation passed in Nashville that forced the counties to do a one-call, which is not a problem. We always do our one-calls to call for locate on utilities. Through a study group during the summer before legislation came into play in January, that gas company became gas company, water company, phone company, cable company. Every utility got on board in Nashville, and the end result of their legislation proposal was that they controlled our right-of-ways. We would have to go to them to get permission to ditch a road, to replace a driveway tile, to replace a cross drain. This resolution was drafted by CTAS. We got it, we made some changes on it, sent it to Craig Garrett, the county attorney. Craig has gone over it, given his nod of approval. Through the County Powers Act, you all have the authority to place the use of our right-of-ways under one person, and that person should be the Chief Administrative Officer of the Highway Department. Any utility that comes in to do any work on Blount County right-of-way would have to adhere to the regulations we've got in place now. So that's what it is, and I'm asking you to pass this, please.
Any further, Commissioner Daly?
No, that answered my question. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Dunlap. Now, board is clear. If you're in favor of moving this to the full agenda, please vote yes. If you're opposed, vote no.
You have 20 yeses.
That item moves to the full agenda. Get ready, Mr. French. The next item on the I appreciate that, but would you let me announce the the issue that we're dealing with? These are the setting of two public hearings. Ms. Rhonda, do you have a date and time for that? Yes, yes. Okay, let me get your mic on. Go ahead.
They're requesting December 9th at 6 p.m. and 6:15 p.m.
December 9th, 6 p.m. and 6:15.
Yes, sir.
Mr. French, is there a motion? Okay, thank you. Is there a second? Second. Mr. Hedrick. All right, now, is there discussion? Let's see, Commissioner Daly.
Okay, we're just discussing the Gardner Circle right now, or both?
Both items are on the floor, A and B.
Okay. Gardner Circle appears to already be a business. Is that a residential right now? It's got a...
Yes, point of order.
The only thing under consideration is the time, place, and date of the public hearing. Anything else would be outside.
Yes.
So...
You'll need to ask that at the public hearing. If it's...
Okay, so this is somebody that has to go before the zoning board that is asking to be rezoned.
We will be holding a public hearing if this is approved at the full commission on December 9th for that particular issue, it's at 6 p.m. The only thing we do tonight is either approve the public hearing or not approve it.
Oh.
No, and send it to the agenda, obviously. Okay. Now, Mr. Melton, did you want the floor again? No. Okay. Anyone else? The board is clear. And the motion is for December 9th, 6 and 6:15. If you're in favor of that, vote yes. If you are opposed, vote no. some announcements somewhere. Oh, I'm sorry.
You have 20 yeses.
That item moves to the agenda and date is set. If you'll give me a half a second, I've got some announcements somewhere. Let's see. Under announcements and statements, that's not it. The commission meeting is November 20th, and I believe that was the only announcement, wasn't it, Ms. Rhonda? Oh, you want to say something about the Education Committee? Hold on, I'll get your mic on.
The Education Committee will meet at noon, November the 13th, at Fairview School.
Okay.
And if you would like to eat lunch there with the students, we usually try to get there about 11:15, those who would like to partake of the lunch.
Thank you. Any other announcements? Pardon me? Veterans Day program, November the 11th. Here at the courthouse, 9:45. Okay. Now, is that all the announcements? Now, does anyone have input on items not on the agenda? Seeing none, the chair will entertain a motion to adjourn. This meeting is adjourned.